everybody, how are you all? I've just been reading some of your comments just as our new screen now comes up before we go live. So let me put my glasses on and we can see who's here. So we've got Tracy, Amanda, Viv, Marilyn, Vicky, Enid, Sarah, so many of you already. Leanne, Sue, Karen. Oh, I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Paul as well. Yeah, obviously if I miss anyone, don't worry, it just goes quite quick. But hi to everybody that's watching. Welcome to the Stamps by Me studio. My name's Claire Manning from Thirsty Brush, and I'm here live every Thursday at 1 o'clock, and also on a recorded show that goes out at 1 o'clock on a Sunday. So I've got absolutely tons to show you. As I'm sure you're aware from social media, we've got our big launch of our new collection with a huge double show on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. So I'm going to give you a really quick rundown again of what products are in that collection. Some people contact me and say, it's great that you do your Facebook Live showing the products, but I actually don't use Facebook, or can you show me this again? So we'll just go through and I'll let you know what bundles they're going to be in. Oh, thank you. Yes, I have gone blonder. It's looking rather brassy under the lights here. So it might need another tone for camera, but not to worry, nothing that a bit of purple shampoo will not solve. And Wendy, I noticed before we went live, you said that you're in Australia and it's nearly 11 o'clock there, but thank you so much for joining us. Hi Pat, hi Kirsty, and anyone else joining in now as well. Oh, brilliant, lovely to see so many of you. So let's give you that quick rundown. The first thing before we get to the stamps and dies is that, of course, so many of you were asking about the metallic confetti inks and have patiently waited for, oh God, a few months now. So they're back. So you'll notice if you follow Claire Manning Craft YouTube channel as well, I did a little video and posted a couple of pictures of a couple of little bits that I was just playing around with. So of course you can use them with your stamps and dies, but I just wanted to very quickly just show you how all the colours and that beautiful shine, and even just using one colour, and how lovely it is to have watercolours that work on darker and coloured paper and things like that as well. So all 8, I've just got my gold mine one here, which is my go-to if I'm not sure what to add to a card. I do a few splatters of that and it's all good, but all 8 colours will be in a bundle at the best price again for you on Saturday at 1:30. Now on to the main collection. Oh, before I do that, can I say a very quick hello to my best friend Jane. She's unfortunately not very well in hospital at the moment. And she said she was going to try and watch today as long as the doctors aren't coming round to see her. So Jane, big hugs and kisses from me. I hope you get home soon, and yeah, if everyone can join me in wishing her well in hospital. It's not COVID related, just a coincidence that it's a time of that at the moment, but I wanted to say hi to you and that I'm missing you, and virtual hugs. Thank you guys. Right then, look at this huge pile of stuff to show you. So let me just move out the way what I'm using for my demonstration, and we'll flick through the designs. So as you may have seen on social media and my Facebook Live, the concept for these stamps and dies is slightly different for this. So hopefully you're going to really like it and see that it kind of extends your options with stamp and die sets even more. Because they now include a stencil and a mask. So if you like this concept and you're loving it, it's something that we can maybe build into future ones as well. So first of all, we've got 2 floral sets for you. So this is the Cherry Blossom, and I've already posted some pictures of some cards that have been made by myself and the design team on this, but it's really, really beautiful, kind of classic Cherry Blossom. You get your dies as well as always, your 1mm outline, and then your 2mm that you can use for your matinee, or if you use stencil underneath your stamp, which you'll see me do today, you can then use the 2mm one to cut around the stenciled image. I know that sounds complicated, but when you see me do it, it will make much more sense. So you've got that, you've got the smaller one as well, all the different options. But then as an even added bonus, normally when making stencils, these bits that pop out would go in the bin and that would be your stencil. But we've decided to include them for the main larger images for you. So you can use those for masks for your stamping, for masks for doing inking around the edge, again, that I'll explain to you in a little while. So the main 4 stamp and die sets in this collection will all have that concept of the stamp, die and stencil together. Hello, anyone else that's joining? Thank you for tuning in. So again, this is one of the bird ones. So we've got, this is Friends Forever, and it's that lovely little 4 birds on a branch. And Jane, that friend I was just talking to you about, says she thinks that this reminds her of people in her life that have got her back. So she said this would be her 2 children, her husband, and me keeping an eye on them all and keeping them all in check and being the people. So I'm sure you've all got people in your life, friends or family or whatever, that you could relate to there. Some lovely scripty sentiments, and then the same concept with the dies and the stencils. Some of the stencils, you've got some little extra bits here. We're going to be using these little feet in the demonstration today. This one is Morning Song. So this is the single bird. You can either have him on the branch, have him without the branch. Small one again, you can decoupage up these smaller elements or use them to create backgrounds. And again, you've got the stencil, lovely little birds there as well as an added, and the masks in there. So that's what we were waiting for to be right, which is why, so thank you for your patience, because I know this is a little bit delayed. And then everybody seems to be going wild for this one. Myself and the design team girls, we predict this may sell out first, I don't know. But this was drawn from a photo I took of the fuchsia bush in my back garden. And of course, fuchsias come in so many different colourways. And then you've got these extra bits, again, to decoupage up or add in. I think you'll see Leanne's card of the day today. She's used like a couple of this one, added in a few of these, and it's created this giant kind of bush of fuchsia rather than just the one stem. Same thing again, the stamps, the dies, as you would expect, and the stencil with the masks. So that's the 4 main bundles, and they will be split into 2 bundles where you can buy the floral ones together as a 2, obviously everything individually as well, but the 2 florals together, or the 2 bird ones together, or obviously both if you wanted everything. Then the rest of these are just some individuals that I thought complemented really well, and maybe things that kind of staple things that you would like in your stash. So this one's just a stamp set, no dies with this one. This beautiful Friends Forever, which is huge. And then these lovely, I don't know whether you can pick them up on the camera. Similar to, did you notice Tony did some, it looked like Dymo tape with the balloon. And this is a similar kind of concept where you've got the negative, so it leaves the sentiment unstamped and stamps around it, but they're in kind of these paint stripey. So I think they're all different. I'll have to check with Tony's balloon one, but I think they are different sentiments as well than what she did in hers. So if you like that kind of look, this will be one to complement. And this actually, my friend Jane, again, I know I keep harping on, but she sent me a mug. Was it Christmas, Jane, or birthday? I can't remember. And it had this saying, "You are my person" on it. And it just made me think of her. So it's quite poignant that this is coming out at the same time. Right, I have to stop talking about it now, otherwise I'll get upset. So this one is the paint strokes die. You know how I like to match them to my outfits. So we've had, what was it, the animal print stencils that went with all my leopard print clothes. Me and my mum have wardrobes and wardrobes of stripy tops, and this just really made me laugh because I thought it's a great set, it's a staple one, but yeah, it kind of goes with every top and jeans that I wear. A lovely background that you can use for mail cards, you can use for backgrounds for your birds, your flowers. You'll find loads of different things that you can use, and it's a huge background, big 5x7 and some lovely scripty sentiments. That one's Scenic Background, I think that one's called. And then this is in a set of 2 or individual, and these are A6 background stamps. So you've got spots, chevrons, and they've all got that kind of not quite perfect look. The paint stripes, which you can either keep in a set there or you can chop them and use them individually, like the design team girls have done, and this really modern one here. So again, I wanted to do these where these are the kind of things that you leave on your desk and you'll end up just picking up and you can use as a background for any card, whether it's with these birds and flowers or not. It's quite a lot, isn't it? So should we get on and have a look? I'm going to use, which I think flashed up on your screens before you came to air, the Friends Forever Stamp Die Stencil and the paint stripes. So let's do, I'm just thinking about which bit to do first. Let's get the background out of the way and do the die first. When will they be on the website, Vicky says? So on the Thirsty Brush website, they will be available from Saturday morning as well, but only individually. If you want anything as a bundle, as always, the best price will be through Create and Craft. So of course you can buy multiples of things, bit of this, bit of that, but I do obviously have to point out that the best bundle price and the bundles are exclusive to Create and Craft. So the stripy one, I'm going to cut it out of some white, but I want it to have a little bit of these birdie feet kind of creeping on. So I'm just going to very, very loosely, with some pink oxide, do a couple of little random little feet. Can you see those okay? They're quite fine, so I know on the camera, but they're quite bold when you're in real life. Nola says she's going to have to be good to her husband. Yeah, Nathan, that was what I was just saying to it's Vicky. Yeah, so that's all done. About when they're going on the website. So yeah, just want a few of these kind of creeping on when I do the die cut. Yes, Amanda, the scenic one would be great for a snow scene. Yeah, you could put do some watercolour, and then when it's not quite dry, put some of the white embossing powder, and it might look like snow and stick to just little bits here and there. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I'll have to try that one on a video. Right, so very, very quick there, just a few feet. And then I'm going to run that through. As with many of our kind of background and plate dies, we tend to do these outer ones as well. And I'm trying to mix up the little pattern for you, so you get, even if you bought multiple plates off us, sometimes you get a plain one, sometimes you get a stitched one. This one's got little dots, sometimes it's dots and stitches, and I'm trying to think of extra little ones for you, so you're not constantly getting the same. Let's pop that through. Hi Irene. And anyone else that's joined in as well. Of course, this is going to pop out in between those stripes, but you could paper piece those back in. Kerry's done a lovely card where she's used that to paper piece back in and put a sentiment on it, or you could even keep them as little sentiment strips. Ruth, you're on your phone. Am I tiny? Oh, hi, Dean. It's my husband joining in. Hello, dear. I can hear the voices doing that in. So yeah, these are just the waste pieces, but you'll see they're kind of perfect size for little sentiments. So by all means, keep those. Paper piece them back in. So you get a lovely bit of detail there as well. They're not just solid stripes, you get little bits that pop out to make it look like kind of rustic. Oh, see, look at Dee now getting all the attention. There we go. So that looks quite cute, doesn't it, with the little feet? So that's ready for our card. I don't need those for this project, so I'll get rid of them for now. And then the outer will create me a perfectly sized matte layer to fit on a 5x7 card and to fit behind that die. So there's no measuring, there's no messing about at all. I'm just going to use some of our vellums. If you've got the Watercolour premium vellums, I'm going to layer that behind to pick up on the pink of the little feet. And that's the kind of base bits then of our card done, and we can move on to the fun birds. Oh, sorry, Tracy, have I missed something? Are you okay? You're having a bit of a mare? I hope you're all right. Hi, Justine. Are you a thirsty brush virgin? So that's going to layer behind there perfectly for the base of our card. But for now, that can go to one side. And let's have a look at these lovely birds. So, one thing that's great about stamping and die cutting with outline dies, of course, is it gives you a chance to do all your colouring techniques, your watercolours, your pens, your pencils, all that kind of thing. However, not everybody either has the time to do that with every card, wants to do that with every card, or feels like they have the confidence with the mediums they've got. So, part of what these stencils do that come with these is allow you to add colour to your stamped images really quickly and with like no skill. So I'm just going to wipe off that extra bit. You know me, I wouldn't normally waste that ink, but I just need it out of the way quickly. So on this piece of card here, I'm going to do the stenciling part before stamping the birds. Now just a quick tip, because I did this the other day myself. When you put your stencil down, before you put your colour, make sure you've got it the right way round, because that is not, and I did this exact thing and went to go and stamp my birds on and couldn't understand for the life of me why it didn't fit. So for your stamping at least, won't matter for your little feet, but for your stamping, you should see your stamp fit perfectly. So I'm going to, you can either tape that down. I've got a little tape runner here that's, I don't know what brand it is, Stick It, but it's removable. So that's going to hold my stencil firmly in place. There's wet glues that do this, and washi tapes and low-tap tapes. There we go. And I'm going to go really bright. So we've already got pink. Let's try and pick up some of these other colours. I'm looking at the vellum, thinking, okay, so we've got pink. We want to have some greens in there. There's an odd little bit of kind of purpley and reddy, but I think it's mainly going to be this with a bit of those other bits in. And I'm just going to very loosely, you can use whatever brushes or whatever you've got, and I'm not worrying about whether it's a bird or whether it's a branch or whatever. I'm just randomly putting the colour down, and we're going to blend in some of the other colours. I don't think I've caught what's happened to you, Tracy, but I'll message you after. I hope you're okay. It's nothing too serious. Oh, Nathan's updating me. Someone dropped. Ah, that's nice, isn't it? Oops. See, I've gone over the edge there, don't worry, because we're going to die cut. Anyway, I've just got a little bit too much on my... Right, let's just go back in and just blend a little bit. You all been watching Carly's lives on a Saturday as well? And obviously you have Tony in the week, and Simon did one, didn't he? A recorded one. You've seen all those catching up, so hopefully plenty of stuff to keep you all going. So when I peel that off, that's the lovely colour. Like I say, don't worry, you can always use tape, but we're going to die cut around that anyway. Before we do that, I'm going to stamp over the top, and I'm going to try something that I haven't tried yet over these oxides. I'm going to see if I can, because they're quite wet normally for a while with pigment, but I'm going to try and just blast it with the heat tool and then see if I can heat emboss over it. I think it should work as long as it's dry enough. Let's try stamping the birds in a gold over the top of those pretty colours. I thought that might look cool. Actually, let's try the silver. That might look nice. Why not? I've tried doing it in just black, loads, over the top, and that works perfectly. Obviously, depending on whether you're using Distress Oxides or Distress Inks or some other kind of blending ink as to what inks you use. So let's grab, and Viv, I think you were talking about Tony's balloon that you'd got, and you were having some trouble lining up dies to get it to cut out nicely, and you were thinking about doing some blank ones and then stamping after. Was that you, Viv? Let me know if you're still there, because I've got a little thing I can hopefully explain to help you with that. An idea. And it works with any stamp or die anyway. So, can you see now how the stamp really easily goes with a little bit of a border round over the top of the stenciled colour. So, although I've just heat set that, Finch's canary, parrot and a minor bird, yes, that's lovely. Ah, so I'm still going to go in with my anti-static bag, because I don't want it, I only want it to stick where I'm stamping, not on all of that other ink and end up with just a silver. Who's put that? Smarty Pants, is that Toner? Where's my embossing ink? There it is. But honestly, there are so many different ways you can use these stencils. You can watercolour through them, you could do any type of blending ink, you could do pens, you could do pattern paper, it's anything at all. And I'll try and show you as many different ways over the live shows and these YouTubes as I possibly can. Yes, Viv, it was you. Right, okay. Bear with me. Let me do this embossing bit. I'll explain to you what I mean. So let's get some powder on there. Wendy's like, I already want it. I haven't even finished it. Let's make sure, this is an experiment now, I haven't done this over the top of the oxides. That's looking good, guys, that's looking good. I think the key is to, if you're using anything with a pigment in to blend, is to just run your heat tool over it first and make sure you use your anti-static bag by the looks of it, because if it's even slightly wet. If you're using water-based inks, you could heat emboss first and then blend after. Let's heat set that and get that silver. Oh, thanks, Jackie. It's cute, isn't it? I just think we can all relate to friends or family and imagine who these little 4 birdies are. Yeah, Jane said she even wants it on her tattoo. I'll be having to license my designs when I for tattoo use. Right, and now it's to die cut. So when you get your die cuts for each design, the middle one is your 1mm border for the stamped image. So if you're just using stamp and die, and of course just because you have your stencil doesn't mean you have to use it every time, you can still do your colouring and just cut out a 1mm border. The second one is either your matte and layer for that, or it then perfectly fits round here. And it's going to give you your 1mm border. You've got your 1mm border of colour and your 1mm border round that. Let's run that through. So, Vivian, imagine I hadn't stamped on that. Imagine I'm doing what you do. You said you were doing, might do this morning, and you're just going to do your die cutting first. I hope this makes sense now, because I know I've already stamped before, but only because I needed to do it this way for this card. But the concept I'm going to show you works for any stamp or die, and is perfect for those ones where you can't line them up because maybe it's like a plate or you can't see all the lines very easily. Does that make sense? Right. Low-tack tape. So this has got nothing to do with this card, but imagine that has been die cut with just a white piece of card or whatever cardstock you're using. Bye, Amanda, see you later. So take out your die cut. Tape is so sticky. So actually, if I turn it over, let's pretend this is your balloon, Viv. So you've die cut a blank piece. What you want to do, underneath on the back, you want to put a piece of tape like that, low-tack tape. And then when you've got your blank balloon, this is your blank balloon, you place it in there. It's not going to move. And then you put on your stamp. Well, this is backwards now because I've turned it over. But then you would stamp. And what that's going to do is stop it sticking back. Otherwise this happens, doesn't it? You put your stamp in, you've got nowhere to hold your magnets, and then that sticks to it, and you can't reprint if you need to go over an extra little bit. So I hope that makes sense. I will do that on, I think, in fact, there might be something on my YouTube channel doing that similar thing, but that holds it in place, and then of course you can just peel it off the back. I hope that makes sense. Right, we've got our lovely birds. Look at the silver over those colours. That looks cool, right? Should we layer him onto... Oh, I need a sentiment, don't I? Do you remember I said these stripes are really good for sentiment? So I'm not going to paper piece one back in, but lots of them on the different sets will fit on these. So I'm going to use one from a different set. The fuchsias have got these really cool little... Let's try that Have a Beautiful Day. I thought that would be nice. Did that make sense, Viv? You said you'll give it a go. I hope so. So I'm thinking my birds will be on that line. Let's have Beautiful Day down here. Brilliant, so clever. I can't take credit for it. I saw it on somebody else's YouTube. I can't remember who, one of the ones that have got like gazillions of followers, probably. But yeah, it's a very good tip. But yeah, I wish I could say I came up with it myself, but I didn't. Right, so we've got Have a Beautiful Day on there. That goes back in that one. And then I think we're just construction now, aren't we? So we've got our vellum, our birdies, our sentiment done. Where's our card blank? And let's glue it all together. So I'm going to do the stripes onto the vellum first. So I don't put wet glue onto the back of my vellum. Put that on, and then you can see I'm going to hide it behind the stripes. So if I put my wet glue here, and line that up. Bye, Jackie. And then when I turn that over to stick it onto my card blank, I can hide the glue between those stripes. It's these silly little things, isn't it? It's just trial and error, but I'll try and tell you these things so you don't make the same mistakes as I do when I first get these products. I think that's a really nice card, as it is, in fairness. Need a tiny bit more on that bit. And then, should we have them pop out a little bit? Let's get some little foam pads. Yeah, I love just using that vellum. I mean, you can do so many different things with it, can't you? You can emboss onto it. If you've got the little pen, I love adding little bits of detail in the flowers and things with the embossing pen, and the gold or the silver. Die cut it all out, but I think it just looks beautiful layered behind that because you just get these little peaks. Hi, Anne. Will you been to the hairdressers? Don't worry if you're late, I'm sure you can catch up. In fact, I cut one of these stripes out of, I did toy with just doing a plain silver metallic card, but I just wanted to show you that little technique of adding something from the stencil. But check this out, that goes with the vellum really beautifully as well, doesn't it, the gold? But yeah, as I say, I went for the white so I could show you the little feet because I thought they were cute. Are we straight there? Is the vellum new on Saturday? No, it's not new. It's been out for a few months now. There may or may not be a few left on the Create and Craft website. There's definitely some on the Thirsty Brush website. But I've got a feeling last time I was at Create and Craft there were a couple left, but I can't guarantee. There. This is a happy little card. Ah, yes. So this is to make my BFF smile today, because me and her will always be on a branch together, putting the world to rights. So let me know who would be on your branch with you. Hi Pat, Michelle. Lovely, so we got through quite a lot today, didn't we? But we'll have a look at loads of different ways to use those stamp styles and stencils on Saturday. I've just recorded another show for you for Sunday as well at 1 o'clock using the cherry blossoms. And I will see you, I hope to see you Saturday for the live show. So I'm sure I'll be bombarding you with loads more stuff that the design team girls, if you can see here, all of these ones at the front of me here have been done with them, with all these collection and the design team girls. It's brilliant. Oh, Viv, you just tried it. Wow, you're quick. Fantastic. I'm glad that's worked for you. But not just that stamp as well. You can do that with anything, because I know some of the early Thirsty Brush ones, we did some wreaths and some of them were plate dies. And that's when I found out about that, because some people said they were struggling to get it lined up and kept wasting card doing it again and again and again. So that works. Fantastic. Okay, I will see you Saturday. Take care. Have a great afternoon.